Okay, so we're going to talk in this video about the grand conjunction. This is the conjunction of Jupiter plus Saturn in the sign of Aquarius, and we're going to get all into what this means for you, what this means for humanity. This is the beginning of a very, very exciting 20-year cycle of evolution. So let's get into the video. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the Saffron Sage, and let's talk about the astrology of this beautiful, powerful conjunction happening on December 21st, 2020. That is the date that the conjunction is exact. However, just so you're aware, the effects will be long-lasting and powerful for the phase, the cycle that humanity is in right now. So we're going to talk about this. Today in this video, I'm going to go over why Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius, like what it means, what kind of an energy shift we can expect. I'm going to go over how to work with this energy, and then at the end, I'm going to go over how it will affect you by your rising sign. I'm also going to talk about what things in your chart you can look to see if this conjunction will affect you. So the first thing is, why is this powerful? Jupiter and Saturn have been in Capricorn, which is the sign of hard work, which is the sign of doing things in the proper order, which is the sign of old tradition and structures and loyalty and, loyalty to the traditional ways of doing things. And Aquarius is a sign of change, innovation, evolution. This can be through technology, through like technological advancement, and it's also about the good of the collective, the good of humanity. So we are going to see the shift in our society, and we've already seen the beginning of this shift, where it's about this change between doing things the old way we've done them just because that's how they've always been done, and all these structures that, our school systems and our food system and our health system, like all of our systems that aren't necessarily benefiting the good of all. Up until now, some people have been speaking out, but they still haven't quite changed. And this energy is when we're going to see these structures be removed. We're going to see things change much, much faster than they have in the past. So Jupiter is the planet of luck and expansion. Saturn is the planet of restriction and following the rules. And it's like the CEO of the zodiac. It's the sign of hard work, it's the sea goat. So it's all about work. Jupiter expands, put them together. What do we get? We get Jupiter expanding some restrictions. So for some people, and for some of us collectively, more restrictions may show up today. However, the difference between the restrictions we are seeing today versus the ones we've seen in the whole year of 2020, where Jupiter and Saturn have been hanging out in Capricorn, is that Capricorn wants to keep things the way they are, and Aquarius wants to say, Aquarius wants to just blow the lid off of it and have a rapid, expansive, sudden change. So I anticipate that collectively we may see new restrictions be put in place, and we may see some kinds of revolution of some kind in our society. Revolution is a word that we may see in the next 20 years. This cycle marks the beginning of a 20-year society. This will be felt more on the collective level for most people, and I'm going to talk at the end about what to look for in your chart that would make it affect you more powerfully. So we're going to see the energy shift from this old structure, these slow moving, our goals have been slow moving on an individual level. If you have been trying to make changes in your life, if you have been trying to help the world, if you've been trying to step up into the best version of yourself in whatever way that is for you, this time now is for you to manifest. This time now, it will be easier to evolve. It will be easier to make positive changes. The solutions will come more easily if we are willing to do the work. And for many people who've already done the work, that like the prep work for your mission or you've been feeling like you've released a lot of beliefs or done a lot of healing in the last year, that is because this energy is going to move so fast that you're not going to want to bring all that baggage into this year. And if you want to know more about that specific topic of what energy we released in 2020, I have a video in my group in Facebook, Manifestors with a Mission. So join that group and check that out. It's all about what Chiron helped us heal and what the conjunction in 2020 helped us clear and detox out of our life based on your rising sign. So it's really detailed. So what we're going to see in this time now, this 20-year cycle, is change. We're going to see things change. We're going to see new technologies. We're going to see technologies that you would imagine might take 200 years or 2,000 years. By the end of this 20-year cycle, it will be here. I see in the next 20 years definitely artificial intelligence happening. I see disclosure happening, disclosure from the government happening. I see new science, new technology, like free energy. I see a lot of advancements in medicine. And some of this change, you guys, might not be easy for us. It might not be easy for us because all of those old structures that will fall are not going to fall easily. So we do have a bit of a rough little few years ahead of us, to be totally honest. When it comes to humanity, when it comes to you personally, what do you do with this energy? Number one, know that the work that you've done is going to be rewarded. Know that you are not your story. This is the biggest thing about this time right now, is there's new beginnings. The 0 degree in astrology and any sign that it's in, it's about a new beginning in this sign, and it kind of takes on the flavor of that sign. So Aquarius is that it can be psychic downloads as well. It can be intelligence, genius, sudden ideas, sudden downloads, sudden information. That's Aquarius energy. So we're going to see this shift where our manifesting can happen so much faster as long as we're clearing and we're evolving. We are almost going to be forced to evolve. It will be easier to make changes if we're embracing the change and stepping up and stepping out of our comfort zone and becoming more, becoming the highest version of ourselves, whether that is through our diet or through our work or through the way we handle money or whatever it is. And it also is going to be more uncomfortable not to make those changes. It will be harder to resist now because the energy is moving so much faster. So that's really our work. What we can do with this energy is just know that anything is possible, and know that greater change is possible than we've ever seen. So it's really easy for us to go into this kind of a cycle feeling like, well, this would take me this long, this would take me that long. My advice is don't even think about how long it's going to take. Focus on the energy you want to be in and step into it a little bit every day. Whatever that is for you, even if it's 10 minutes a day, step into that new version of yourself every single day. Focus on that energy, visualize every day where you want to be, what you want to be doing, and the energy will move fast if you do this. It's more those kind of manifestations. And then I'm going to now go over, you guys, first of all, I'm going to go over what you might see in your chart that will cause this energy to affect you really strongly. I see a lot of people saying things like, oh, if you're a Taurus, this is going to hit you hard. But you guys, astrology is much more complex than that. You cannot know how this energy will affect you based on your sun sign alone. You have to know more details about your chart. So anyone who says that is probably an amateur. And so I just want to clear that up. It's not going to affect you more if you're a Taurus. It's going to affect you more if you have planets or your rising sign from 0 to 3 degrees of the following signs: Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo. From 0 to 3 degrees of any of those signs, this energy will affect you more. Another way this will affect you is if you have Jupiter or Saturn in the sign of Aquarius in your natal chart. If that's where your natal chart is, this will affect you more. because you'll either be having a Jupiter or Saturn return. A return is when the planet where you were born, it comes back to the same place. So our Jupiter returns happen every 12 years. They're good, they're auspicious, they bring blessings to whatever area Jupiter is in your chart, so whatever house. So like for me, for example, I'm having my Jupiter return. Jupiter is in my fifth house. Fifth house represents creativity, it represents fun, and it represents flings, right? Because flings fall under the category of fun. So I could have some flings coming up. I could have an expansion of my creativity, which, to be honest, guys, I'm already seeing that. So that's an example of a Jupiter return. Saturn return is when Saturn comes back to the same place. So if you have Saturn in Aquarius, you are now having your Saturn return. You're probably 28, or if you're having your second one, it's closer to 60 years old. And what was my point of that was that, that Saturn return brings lessons. It brings us those difficult lessons. So it is known as being a more challenging time. But again, it depends on so many things in your chart. So one of the ways to you guys to know how any astrological transit is going to affect you is to know what your rising sign is and look to the house that it's going to be in. So now I'm going to go through how this energy is going to affect all of the different rising signs. And to do this, I'm going to start with Aquarius because this is where this is happening. If your rising sign is in Aquarius, that means this is happening in your first house of body and your identity. Now remember, this is a 20-year transit, and what that means is that it's going to affect us as a whole, as a society, more than it's going to affect the individual. Things like your solar return chart, which is when you're born, every year where the sun comes back to. Things like the monthly new and full moons, where those are happening in your chart. Those kinds of events are actually going to affect us more. They affect us more collectively generally, unless, like I said, they're aspecting a planet. So if you have Jupiter or Saturn opposite your sun right now, if your sun is at 0 degrees Leo, you will feel this transit very strongly. So that being said, if you have Aquarius rising, this will be in your first house of body or identity. And so you may want to make a change to the way you look. You may want to make a change to how you identify yourself. Or something could happen in your external environment that forces you to change your identity. Maybe something happens that makes you go from being in a relationship to being single. That would be an identity shift. Or from a certain job to a promotion. That would be an identity shift. If you are Pisces rising, this is happening in your 12th house of isolation, spiritual practice, transcendence, and self-sabotage. So you may have a change that helps you see where you've been self-sabotaging. You may have a change that allows you to have more quiet time in your life or more meditation. You may start a meditation practice that you continue for the next 20 years. Aries rising, 11th house, friends, groups. So for this placement, you may feel like you make a change to who you hang out with. Maybe you leave some Facebook groups and join some new ones, or maybe you have some new friends in your life. If you're on social media in your Aries rising, maybe your audience changes, maybe it grows, maybe it gets smaller, or maybe you, because Aquarius is the sign of technology, maybe you invest in some technology that allows you to, or you add a new app that allows you to reach more people, for example, on your social media. For Taurus rising, this is in your 10th house of career and how you are recognized in the world. So that means you might have a change to how people see you, what people recognize you for, whether that be at a job or at your own business, or even if you are like a stay-at-home mom. Now suddenly you just made the best homeschooling plan ever, and everyone notices you. So it doesn't have to always be something you make money at when it comes to 10th house. It can be something you're recognized for in the zone that you're in the sphere that your life is in right now. For Gemini rising, this is happening in your 9th house of belief systems. And for you, it's all about freeing your mind. So you might find you let go of belief systems that are no longer serving you. This is Gemini rising, guys. And that you find that you are just more open in your belief systems. Maybe you've always wanted to try being in an open relationship and now you're finally in a place, for example, that you can do so, or something like that, where maybe you're deconstructing your belief systems. Cancer rising, this is your 8th house of inheritances and the other side. Some Cancer risings may get an inheritance at this time. A change might happen when it comes to your partner's money, or you may find you start doing spiritual work, or you start charging for spiritual work. For Leo rising, this is in your 7th house of partnerships. Some kind of change may happen within your relationship that causes you to evolve, that causes your partner to evolve. Maybe someone changes and grows. This could end a relationship, it could start a new one, or it could shift the dynamic that a relationship has. Or maybe you just realize things about your partner you never knew. Or, maybe you both evolve into this new space together. Maybe you both start a business that's online or something. Virgo rising, this is happening in your 6th house of daily routines. So for you, this could involve changing your daily schedule, changing your diet, cleaning up your diet, because the theme here is evolution. So you may want to just eat better. You may want to get better at managing your time. You might start a new practice. You maybe start taking cold showers, or start doing something that makes you feel more alive on the daily basis, something that causes you to evolve. Remember, guys, for everyone with this who is affected by this transit, it's about evolution. It's about being the higher self. So Virgo's becoming your higher self in terms of your health and your day-to-day routines. For Libra rising, it's creativity, play, and children. So you may find you have to, if you have kids, you might need new parenting rules, or you might need to change or grow in some way in order to be the best parent you can be. You might find your kids are evolving. Maybe they're changing and growing, and maybe they need new technology. Maybe they're learning a lot right now. For those of you without children, maybe you have a child, or you get pregnant, or maybe you decide you don't want children and you're finally free of that, or maybe you end up being more creative and stepping more into your creative zone and having more ideas and downloads. For Libra rising, people with this in the 5th house, it can be quick, sudden creative ideas. You could get an idea for a book and just go for it. There is no need to wait with this Aquarius energy. It's a very quick, fast moving energy. For Scorpio rising, this is happening in your 4th house of roots, home, and creativity. So you could move. You could want to put down more roots. You could spend the next 20 years creating positive, loving connections with your community. You might find a relationship with a parent evolves or gets better, or has some kind of healing involved in your immediate environment. So you may upgrade your living situation. This is not the people maybe you live with. If you are in a if you're in a house with a bunch of different people, or this could even be involving your relationship with your siblings. Maybe one of them makes some kind of evolution in their life. Maybe one of your siblings gets sober or makes some other positive change. Capricorn rising, last one. This is your 2nd house of value. So this is a time where you may find you evolve your income. So you make more money. You may find you evolve your self-worth. You feel better about yourself. Therefore, you can charge more, or you just go into situations more and more feeling like you are more valued, or feeling like you know your value. Therefore, you end up creating better things where other people are more, see your value because you are upping it. Maybe you are gaining skills that make you feel more valuable. That's another way this could show up. So just to recap, you guys, this energy is all about evolution. It's all about stepping into the best version of ourselves. We are becoming our higher selves. Manifestations are on total speed up. So any manifestation tools you are already using, don't forget to use them right now. Now is a really, really good time to be open to new podcasts or so. Any sudden changes or upheavals happening, these are happening for your highest good. So it's always good to remember, is this really giving me something I've been asking for? Because sometimes we do this where we say, I want a new job, I want a new job, I want a new universe world, especially the things that are going to support the good of the collective. If you have been sitting on an idea that you want to share with the world, this is a time to step up. Find the people who you need to work with and make it happen. Invest in what you need to invest in to create your passion in the world, because It is more important than ever, and there is more universal support to make positive changes now than ever. The last year, we have been in this very slow moving energy, and if you've been trying to make changes in your life, you probably felt like you've been walking underwater. It's just not possible. It has not been possible to go full speed ahead in the last year because we have been so limited by the energy. So now we are freed up. It doesn't mean we're coming into an age where everyone's going to love one another and everything's going to be perfect. I'm sorry to tell you that people who interpret this that way, I don't think know that much about astrology, because there is still, like, Aquarius is revolution. There is still something to revolt against. There's still going to be challenges. There's still going to be opposition. We're not at utopia, but we are at a time where the energy is going to move so much faster. So many more things are going to be able to happen now that weren't able to happen before. And whatever area of life you've done the work in, that is where you're going to see the most rewards. So this is a time where people who have been doing the personal development work, looking at the limiting beliefs, doing your healing, changing your habits, doing your best to become a better version of you, it's going to start paying off now. So I think that's all I have for the energy update, you guys. Be sure to check out my group Manifestors with a Mission on Facebook, where I have another video where I go into what we cleared, and I go through this based on your rising sign, what we cleared in 2020. So jump into the group to find that. And I will have some more moon sign videos out for you guys at some point. It's been taking a while to create them, but I am working on more for you. So that is all I have, and I will see you all in the next video.